How's it going, everybody? This is Kinema, and we're back with some more um, mod sauce. So, in the last or previous episode, we were looking at some applied energistics. So, two. So, I built this structure in front of me. I went over some basic components of it, had it all laid out, and if we come in here, you'll see quite a bit's different. Now, I've made a lot of progress. I took up a lot of time crafting stuff last time, and so I figured I would go ahead and make everything, do a lot of upgrades. I had to do some more mining. Fanakwa gave me a few things. The charge course is having a hard time getting. So we went over a lot of this stuff, but you may notice some extra things, some extra devices here. I even have a generator. Got this weird little thing in my inventory. So I'm going to go over all that, and I'm just going to start. You notice everything's off the floor. I got the water here, which we were growing the crystals in. It was over in this corner. So I got a couple things that I left out in the last video, and I wanted to go ahead and make them. These things it takes a long time for stuff to grow in the water. We're making the pure Sortis quartz, and then also I had to end up making some of the pure Fluix crystal. So you make these growth accelerators. Now these things you can have basically kind of up to 5. What I went ahead and did, and I don't know if you're doing something like this, you're going to go to, I basically wired. Is that going to be able to see it? Yeah. Okay. I went ahead and wired the whole bottom area. So I made plenty of cables, and that way I can drop in one on each side of these waters if I needed to, and not have to worry about rerunning cable. It's already down under there. So I did disconnect it. Now that I did upgrade my energy cell. So the reason why I have it disconnected is these things do draw power. Now, I was kind of curious. I kept breaking this, and I wasn't sure exactly how much power I had and everything. So I started looking into it, and there's this network tool. And the network tool is pretty easy to make. You use your Sortis quartz wrench, and it does the same function as that, but then it adds some stuff. So you use just a illuminated panel, one of these processors, which is these processors are made with the pure Sortis quartz. And you make a chest in this, and that gives you this network tool. Now, the nice thing about the network tool, you can just right click on anything. It tells you everything that's going on, how much energy generation you have, and how much usage you have. Now, that is kind of odd. Oh, it's probably only generating what I'm using because you can tell by the different color of the dense energy cell. It is full. Once it fills up, it kind of illuminates itself. And so that's what that's doing. So kind of tells you what other devices are on there, and it has a couple other things as far as stored power. So it got quite a bit of power coming into it, and the power is the next thing that I kind of wanted to go over, because you may notice I have a regular generator up here. So what this generator does, and you're probably wondering how this actually generates the AE power that these things generate. You see these generate the AE per tick. It does it a couple of different ways. So you have to convert the power from a regular generator or a different power source. I mean, you can use between RF, MJ. You need this thing called an energy acceptor. So that energy acceptor, it's not really, you can't really do anything with it. I mean, you do see it on here that it's installed, and eventually I'll probably take out these vibration chambers, because you don't really need, like, I made 3 because I was having a difficult time with power until I learned about this little tool. So if we go ahead, and I don't know if it'll do it since this is full, probably won't, but I can throw some fish in here this will pull the energy from the generator and just, take it right into our system, into the energy cell. So you may notice, so yeah, definitely if you want to hook up other systems, I may put like some windmills or something up here, or do something just to have, so it has like a steady flow of power too. It has, make sure to have one of these energy acceptors to convert that signal for you. So one of the other things you may notice is a lot of the, oh, fell in the water. So yeah, I got 3 of those. Went ahead and just used this Emmy chest. This is just extra storage. I was trying to figure out how to specify where all my stuff was going, because I had maxed out my system. I moved everything over, but I have these 16. I made different 16K storages. I was only had enough supplies to make 2 of those, and then I made a bunch of 4. Now, what I said in the first part of this is that each of these only hold, and you see a lot of them are maxed out with 63, 63. A lot of them are maxed out exactly with what they can hold. And I may have to pull some more stuff out of it. Even though this is maxed out at 63, it still has tons of storage space. So one of the things you can do, one of the things I did do, is you can create this little device up here called a cell workbench. Now, the normal thing is if we come in here, and this looks different too. I'll get into that in a minute. If we throw something, if we pull it out and just throw it in the terminal, it just puts it, wherever the closest spot is. So it will just drop it in any of these. So you can go and take this cell workbench, put the cell up here, and you can see I already said, since this is one of the 16K, I want all cobblestone and all compressed cobblestone, which I've been made quite a bit of that, to go into this cell. So it will basically exclude any of these other cells and go right into this one, because that's what I have set to. And we can take this one and throw it in here and see it does have that in here. So it is going in this storage cell because of what we set, we told it to. So definitely want to try to create one of these cell workbench. Before you start throwing in a lot of inventory, I had to pull all the, come in here, pull out, a couple thousand cobblestone and stuff, and then re-put it back in to apply to that. So did the upgrade cell. You can see this actually takes quite a lot. It takes 8 of those. If you remember, these took that. So I mined. I went down and I'll have to show you in the mining world. There's actually right directly underneath the portal, there's a couple ravines and a mine shaft, and it was so open that you can just see ores. If I go down there, I can show you. You can just look at all the ores and everything, and it's pretty awesome. So I found tons of sortis quartz. I think I had like 3 or 4 stacks of sortis quartz and almost a stack of charged, which I used a lot of it to make this because I really wanted that extra power. So the other thing that you may notice here is an ender chest, and I have an ender bag. Now the reason why I have that is, let's say we have 45 apples, and I'm out, doing my thing out here. Now I do need to probably put I may need to put a chunk loader or something, or try it out and see how this works. It is, I guess, in the spawn chunks. We did spawn right over here, but I may have to put like a chunk loader and just see how, I'm gonna try it first. But we're coming over here, we're picking apples, and we're like, oh wait, no more space. Well, we can drop all those in our ender pouch, and you'll start seeing they start disappearing. So, and the reason why, that ender pouch is another thing. It's from ender storage. it's linked up to this ender chest. So anything I put in the pouch goes into this chest, and this is a little import bus. Now I've went ahead and made some upgrades for this to make it go faster through. Made an accelerator card, which is here. And you can see this is more the pure Sorger's quartz. And what was I looking at? So then you can use the pure or the flux. So I mean, so I made basically, and you could probably put a little bit more upgrades in here. I haven't put a whole lot, mainly just the capacity. You'll notice this goes through a lot more, and the acceleration card. So it was only pulling like 1 or 2 out at a time. Now it pulls like stacks of 16. So it goes through, it pulls things out of the chest pretty rapidly. And if we look in our terminal, there's those 50 apples. So, you know, if I set this up in a mining world or set up to a quarry or something, it should drop, you know, all the stuff in here, you know, where it needs to go. So that is really nice. So the way all this is set up, I can just go do my thing out in the world, throw everything in here or my other bag. You know, I probably didn't want to do that. So the one bad or negative thing so far is I have a lot of like ones, and we can sort this by number of items. So you can see here, yeah, 6,000 carats. There's a lot of stuff down here that has like little ones and stuff, and a lot of it is some of this. These blocks, you know, we got, that's the chest. Just some of these. And unfortunately, that's one thing that's bad, is all these different chiseled blocks just kind of take up space. So I got to figure out the best course of action for that. So is this? Yeah, this is more of it. That's just colored. This is more of it. So what I've been doing is just coming over here, throwing a lot of random things in these chests. You can see all the water bottles, saddles, everything that takes up one spot. I can throw that in there. Hammer, I think I had that somewhere in the tools section. So eventually I'll probably want to either break all this or convert it all back, or just make another Emmy drive. Now, they do have things called channels, so you can only have a certain number of devices on your network before they will just stop working. Now, will this tell us? It doesn't. A lot of these things don't actually take it. The terminal does, and you see installed, one, installed, all these things installed. Not all of these show up on your channel, so when you get into here, sometimes you have to do some other stuff. I already made where is it? I already made an Emmy controller. These things actually look pretty cool when powered. I don't need it yet because I don't have a large AE network. I thought I was going to. That looks pretty crazy. So I don't need it yet, so I'm not hooking it up. But once I do have a lot of channels and a lot of things hooked up, then I'll probably want to do that and set up channels, and I'll probably go into what channels are then. So for right now, this is kind of my small network. It's functional, and yeah. So moving on, probably one of the last pieces that I haven't really covered is this Emmy pattern terminal. Now, I'm not going to do too much with patterns and auto crafting yet, but what you can do is you can actually go in here and you can select, you got your Emmy terminal, which I already had made, It was there. So all I did was I went and I looked at the crafting terminal, which is just your Emmy terminal, a standard oak crafting bench. Now I tried using another wood to make the crafting bench, and it wouldn't take it. So there may be some that it works with and some that it doesn't. But then you have this calculation processor, which is just the pure Certus quartz. So once you do that, where is it? You can make this pattern one. You just take the crafting one, use this engineering processor, which is what you get with the diamonds, and it makes the pattern. So this, before you had several devices, you had like in Applied Energistics 1. This one, you don't have to use this. I mean, the patterns will be nice, but you can still craft with it, I'm pretty sure. I guess I should try that out. Yeah. Didn't know. So that should have just now put, well, we don't have anything crafting, but yeah, there's that one, and okay, and there's this one. So yeah. So you can see I basically just converted that chest over. So the nice thing about this is it actually does work with NEI. So let's get something basic that we can do. Actually, do we need portable cells, wireless terminal? Yeah. I'm sure maybe at one time I may need flux pure pearl. Nah, probably not going to make it that right now. But actually, you know what we can make? So generators. Let's say I wanted to make another one of these generators. I wanted this. I needed pistons. Do that. We can drop that back in there. Come back. We need this. Let's say we wanted to go ahead and make a handful of those. Now we got that. We can drop that in there, clear it, and shift, click, and now we got the generator. So without taking anything out of my inventory, out of my whole system, the items, just using NEI to shift click, I made a generator in seconds. So the reason why it shows up like that is it basically just shows the items here, but it basically pulls from your chest. Now you can, it is a pattern terminal, so you can get the pattern here, put a blank pattern, blank patterns, yeah. So you can basically put one of these blank patterns, put it here, and make the blank pattern. So that's where you get kind of like the auto crafting. And now I'm not going to get too much in the auto crafting. This is as far as I wanted to get with Applied Energistics. I wanted to get all my stuff, get it moved over. I can make 3 more, technically hold 4 more cells. So what I may do is I may try to make some of these. Where are they? These big ones. Takes quite a lot of materials, so I don't know, but we'll see. But that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and so I talked about that. Sorry, this episode has been more talking and explaining, but hopefully, and I know there's other probably better mod spotlights, but I wanted to give y'all my take on some of these mods. So you may notice everything's gone. So eventually I will need to move the rest of this stuff, but all my chests with the exception of these file cabinets, and I could use these file cabinets over, for, ooh, that's not a bad idea. May have to see, I'm going to eventually move this setup in its own little building over here. And I may think about a way to sort out, basically have the fish and everything go directly in the Emmy system, but then sort out the water bottles. And I think it should be pretty easily done. So, not that I needed the fly over there. I could have just dropped all this stuff, with the exception of book, right in there. And you'll see it pulls it out. Now, I thought these things were going a lot faster earlier. So, but yeah, so that's pretty much the AE system from my take on it, from what I want to do now with it. Let me know what you think. So hopefully this is, I don't know why I took the book. I don't really need it at the moment. But let me know what you think, because it's a very advanced mod. I mean, I've probably just scratched the surface on it for what you could do. This is how you get a basic setup with crafting, with a lot of storage space. So as far as the base setup of it, I think this is all you really need to do. To get into more advanced systems, you would have to learn about channels. But for now, I think that's what I'm going to do. You may notice I put a roof on it too. I got tired of it raining, and I just went ahead and used the same skystone. What I may eventually do is just do like a terminal down here, and then move a lot of the different storage devices, the power, all up in the ceiling, and that way you can run into a couple terminals, get what you need, do the crafting you need, and then leave. So yeah. So anyway, with that being said, let me know what you think. I may go ahead and try to finish up the sides and different things on this build, make it look a little bit more polished and finished. But I guess until next time, this has been Kinema, and I'll talk to you later.